knitters. So good to see you again. And it's so soon since my last podcast. I got such a great response, and there were a lot of new viewers, and so I really didn't want to let the grass grow under my feet. I wanted to see if I could record another podcast, and as it turns out, I had a lot of stuff to share. So let's just get right into it, shall we? My new website is working great. So many of you have visited. I've gotten so many positive comments on it. My patterns can be purchased there. I have a lot of other stuff there too, which is so much fun. I have a little secret. I want, and this is a secret, like a imaginary secret, because I don't think I'm going to be able to have what I want, but what I want someday is a yarn store. And I have the location picked out. I know exactly where I want it. And my husband was kind of like, well, why don't you start with like an online store? See how that goes. So what I have now going on is just the beginning of that. And I'll put the website up on the screen in case you're interested in checking that out. You can also find it in my show notes. While you're down there, if you would like to subscribe, that would be amazing. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. And then you can know when I put up new videos, which hopefully will be more often. Wouldn't that be great? So anyway, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. My kids have gone back to school. I've got one kid in public school, one kid in Catholic school, and I'm homeschooling the other two. So it's a lot of stuff. It's very busy. But we also have our quiet moments too. Like, right now I've got one kid knitting, and, that's school. Hey, you homeschool, knitting's going to be a part of that for sure. In fact, my little one who's going to go to kindergarten next year, my other daughter who's going to continue to homeschool, and I were talking, and we were like, we can go knit at the yarn store during the day next year. Won't that be amazing? So we're excited about that. It has gotten cooler. Have a little bit of sweater weather. You'll notice I've got some flannel, and I'm still sporting my brass tacks cardigan, which is still on sale for a few more days if you're interested in that. I'll put all of the coupon codes and stuff up on the screen so that you can see them in case you're interested, and I'll also have them down below. Anyway, so it's been a very busy transition. I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, and there's just been a lot going on, and this week has been insane because not only have we gone back to school, but I also had a sweater pattern out. No, I'm still doing it. Is that okay? Thank you. I had a sweater pattern come out, and I am introducing sock kits into my shop, which is something that has been in the works for about a month. It takes a long time for these things to happen. I kind of felt like I bombarded my newsletter subscribers with a sweater and sock kits, but the sweater has been in the works since March, and the sock kits have been in the works for the past month, so alas. I'm excited. Like, for me, this is like amazing. So let me just show you the stuff that is a part of the kit. First of all, this is the yarn. Let's see if I can, no, this way. It's so hard to tell. So this is the yarn. This is by Kim Dye's Yarn, and we have a color called Erica, and this color is called Egg Yolk. This is a mini skein, this yellow one, and this one is a full-size skein. So you've got a couple of options here. You can use the mini skein for heels and toes if you like a bright sock and you love blue and yellow together, like I apparently do. It seems to be my favorite combination. So you can do that if you want, or you can hang on to this and use it for a different project if you like to have mini skeins laying around. Totally your call. But it matches the bag. I love it so much. So this is canvas. Let's see if you can see that up close. It's canvas. It's got kind of an Art Deco-y mountain pattern. It's got a heavy duty strap. And these zippers are really high quality YKK brass zippers. Just so you know, if you want it to zip really cleanly, you kind of have to hold it flat. So by holding it flat, it zips really cleanly. If you kind of press it down flat and zip it, that's the best way to work this type of zipper. And there is a leather zipper pull on the bag there. And the inside of the bag is this beautiful yellow. And it has my cork label. So, these bags are always a labor of love. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, but I'm so happy with how this one came out. And look at how it goes. Isn't it just perfect? So Kim lives locally to me, sort of. I mean, it's like 45 minutes, and we both have real busy lives, so we did not get together. Is this a scary one? Okay.
I can change it.
Gigi will fix it. Thank you.
I want to skip it.
Gigi just said, Mom, I get a live podcast while I'm knitting. Hey, you come to my house when I film, you get to see it live. So, anyway, I'm so happy. This is, kind of the bread and butter of the kit, but there are a few extras. One significant extra is a pattern. I have 3 sock patterns, the Molly socks, the glazed pecan socks, and the bear socks. And with your kit, you get a choice of which one you want. The way to do this is you have to add the kit to your cart and then go add the pattern you want, and it will ring up as free. So pick one of those patterns and it rings up as free. I toyed around with different ways of doing that, and that just seemed to work the best. So that's how you can get that. You also get a tin of my hexagon stitch markers that these have been in such high demand. I had a lot of them, and they are sold out except for the ones in the kits. I am restocking, but they just, it's different parts that have to arrive, and they aren't all here yet. So I am restocking. These will be back in stock soon, but for now they're only as a part of the kits. And don't you remember my last podcast where it was like quiet? That I think was a weekend, and my husband was home, and yeah. This is a weekday. Today is Thursday, so we're gonna make it work. I know you guys don't mind. My kids are cute. They're sweet little guys, so anyway. And this adorable wool ball progress keeper that matches the inside of the bag and the yarn. I was originally going to put it on the zipper as a zipper pull, and that does look really cute. So you can do that if you want, because it does look really pretty if you like that. And then you'll also get the leather zipper pull that you can double up with, or you can put it on another bag, whatever you want to do there. So that's the kit. Bag, zipper pull, progress keeper, 24 stitch markers, 2 skeins of yarn, and a sock pattern. How about that label? Is that upside down? Oh. Sometimes when I look at stuff, it looks backwards in my viewer. I'm like, but it doesn't look upside down. What's going on? So I am kind of proud of this. This is kind of awesome. So I've got Kim's label, her logo up here, and then my logo and sock kit. So yeah, I'm super proud of this kit. It is $82, but there are coupon codes, as always. You guys know that I love a good coupon. I love a good sale. I love when I add stuff to my cart, and the more I buy, the less shipping costs. Like, that's just how it ought to be. So in this very small part of the world that I can control, which is my own website, that's the way it is. So if you would like to get this kit for 15% off, which is a good chunk because it's $82, you can put in the code I love socks. There's also a code for the brass tacks pattern for a few more days. This is on sale until Saturday with the code brass tacks. This is 20% off, but it's only a $7 pattern, so I think you save $1.40. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so that is the stuff that is new. Also, in my last podcast, I talked about stitch marker necklaces. And now they are here. Here's a close-up. Let me see if I can get it to be somewhat still. So right now I have these in brass, and they're like a filigree on a ball chain, 28-inch ball chain. I'll put it on in a minute so you can see how it looks on. I also have pictures on the website. This opens up. It's got a little latch, and I'll see if I can show you without dropping the stitch markers. It's got, let's see if I can hold them in there with my finger. It's got 3 little stitch markers. I'm just gonna take them out so you can see the locket open. It's just a little bit of a locket, and there are my 3 small stitch markers, and they just fit right in there. This is the cutest. I wear it every day now. I was wearing my signature necklace every day, but now I wear this one every day, and you can see about how long it is. It's a good length. Like, this is like a great long necklace length, I think. So I got a comment on my last podcast that someone, and this was this beautiful, gorgeous lady who had like platinum blonde hair and gray eyes, and she was like, I just can't do brass. Like, that doesn't look good. Although, honestly, thinking of it, I think she might look gorgeous in brass. But this lady, I think, might look gorgeous in anything. Anyway, she asked if I would do a silver one. And so I started sourcing silver lockets, and those will be in the shop within the next, I don't know, probably month. Definitely keep an eye out for that. Also, I have decided to branch out with these necklaces because they are so popular. I was amazed, like, I guess I wasn't amazed at how much people like them because I love them. I feel like it's a great price, plus I always offer discounts. So, I feel like it's a good bargain. It's a great necklace. It holds up. It's, fashion jewelry. It's not fine jewelry, so don't, put it in the sink and run water on it because I don't know what that will do, actually. Maybe I should try it, and then I could tell you. But anyway, it's a great necklace if you take reasonable care of it, which is all I do. I wear it, and then I take it off. Then it will last you for a long time. So I'm going to be having several different styles of this necklace coming also, and new stitch marker shapes. They are so cute. I've got silver, I've got gold. It's gonna be just a smorgasbord of beauty. Because I feel like my daughter is done knitting and I wanted her to pop in and show her project. Do you wanna come on the podcast and show your project? Okay, so she is making, you can just come sit right here in front of me. She is making, just sit right here, and you might have to sit back a little bit so you're not too big. Yeah, right here. There you go. This is Gigi. Gigi has been on the podcast before. Scooch over this way a little bit, just this way. Yeah. Gigi has been on the podcast before when it was an audio podcast. Do you remember that? When we did an interview?
No.
You don't remember that?
Nope.
It exists. It's real. And I know that the audio podcast is no longer available, but I do have plans to put it on YouTube with a pretty picture, and then you could just listen to it because I know people like to binge watch, binge listen. But Gigi is making this gorgeous bunny from Susan B. Anderson's Itty Bitty Toys book. And do you want to show us what you have so far? Okay. Try not to bump this because that's the camera. Okay, so this is the body. This bunny is knit in pieces. Let me put this over here so it's not in the frame. Okay, so this bunny's knit in pieces. So this is the body, and this is the head. I think it goes like this with the face. The decreases as part of the face, like that. Okay.
These are the ears.
Okay, you want to sit down? You can show us. You have to sit back a little bit so your face doesn't look gigantic. I do that. I lean forward so people can see me, and then I'm like, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, You can sit forward. That's perfect. There you go. Gigi.
My head's still here.
We have big heads in our family, so,
I find that offensive.
Look, sometimes you just gotta accept the truth. So these are the 2 outer ears, and she's currently working on the 2 inner ears.
Actually, I have them done.
Oh,
But
she
this
did
one-
those just now.
But this one I couldn't actually pull through, which Mom's gonna have to help me
Oh
with.
yeah, it's a bind-off problem. I'm not sure. We had the same
But
problem
I
yesterday.
can't rip it out.
I can rip
so
it
it's
out.
kind of stuck.
Yeah, don't worry. So this is the outer ear. I'm going to use this one. And what you do is you put the 2 reversed stockinette sides together, and then she's going to sew that together, and that will make the ear lay flat and not curl. See? Isn't that cool? Yeah. So all she has to do is stick them together, give him arms and legs, and he's going to be done. Have you decided what you're doing with this bunny yet?
I think I'm gonna keep him and be the dad or mom of Bun Bun.
Bun Bun. So I knit Gigi this pattern. How old were you?
I was maybe 4.
You were little. And at that time, I didn't realize that Debbie Bliss Baby Cashmerino was not a good choice for toys. It's not. Don't use it. It's too slippery, and it's just the wrong yarn for toys. But Bun Bun, it is sturdy, and Bun Bun has held up really well.
Yeah.
Are you interested in going to get Bun Bun? Maybe we could show
Sure.
Bun Bun here.
I'll take the pieces.
Take the pieces. Okay. Okay. So while Gigi is going to get Bun Bun, okay. So I talked to you about the necklaces, stitch marker necklaces. Yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you guys. Right now, all of my patterns are available as PDF downloads, and I was wondering if anyone would be interested in printed patterns. I've looked into this a little bit, and I'm not sure if people are interested in that. I know I buy a lot of sewing patterns because I don't design sewing patterns, and I prefer a PDF, but I know some people don't. So let me know in the comments if you are interested in printed patterns. That would be amazing. Okay, so this is Bun Bun, and he is very floppy. He's stuffed with
Polyester beads.
the poly
and
pellets.
Fiberfill.
Yeah, so his bum and his hands and his feet are.
He's really floppy because.
But we kind of love him like that, right?
Yeah.
So this new bunny is going to be bigger, and he is going to either be the mom or dad of Bun Bun.
Yeah.
What are we going to name the new one?
I don't know.
See how he sits? Oh, Bun Bun, don't be sad. Be happy. Oh. Thank you, Gigi.
When I was little, the bees just kept falling out.
Yeah, and you can kind of shoot them, I feel like, can't you? You can kind of poing. You can
Yeah,
point 'em
that's what I
out.
did.
That happened.
Yeah, and I also tried to pull them out.
Yeah.
But in mine, I layered the fiberfill and polyester beads, so he's gonna be sturdier than this.
Yes, yeah. This is one of the early toys that I made, and I was not as proficient as I have later become in toy knitting. I've actually knit quite a few toys, which is good because I'm about to design my first toy, which is going to be, I haven't told you this, I hinted at it last time, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you because I'm so excited. It's going to be a unicorn. And guess who one of my test knitters is going to be? Gigi. So, I mean, that's one of the great things about homeschooling, don't you think?
Yeah.
Is that you can knit during the day. Like we have time where I just say, pick a meaningful activity. You can color, you can draw, you can ride your bike, you can play a game, you can play with your sister, you can knit, you can sew, you can embroider. Bun Bun, perk up. You should be my co-host, Gigi. Wouldn't that be fun if Gigi was my co-host? She's so funny. She makes me laugh all the time.
I keep putting him this way, so it's
I
on
know.
camera.
It's backwards. I know.
Yeah.
I mess it up every time. But people don't seem to mind, so it's okay. All right, well, I'm going to kick you off. I'm going to go make sure that Charlotte is
Bumped it again.
doing well. All right. Thank you, Missy. I appreciate it. Oh, I forgot my cowl. Would you get it for me? See, bye-bye. Bye, Bun Bun. See, and also, servant. Thank you, Gigi. So On the needles, I have two things on the needles right now. One of the things I showed you last time, and it looks almost exactly the same. The cowl, Gigi? It's over there. It's in that pretty bag. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You're wonderful. This beautiful knitted rainbow cardigan that's going to be accompanying the unicorn pattern is going to be out by November 1st. I have a very small group of testers working on this, and because I want it to be done in time so people can knit it for Christmas. So did I say October 1st? No, November 1st. November 1st is the date to have this cardigan and its companion patterns out. So I showed that last time. You've seen that. The thing that you haven't seen, because I didn't even have the yarn last time, is this project that Kim and I are working on. So this is the colorway called Williamsburg. And it's like Kim just knows me, and she knows how much I love gray and blue, because it's almost like what I would call like a Confederate blue, like that blue-gray. And it has speckles in it, very, very sparse speckles of green and brown, and even a little bit of red. I feel like I had one red stitch. You can see that right there. See that? I mean, it's mostly gray, blue. The overall impression is gray, blue, but it really does have just a few speckles. So this has, let's see, bobbles. It's hard with the light in the background. And my favorite cable is this gartery one. Thank you for being patient with me. Okay, so let me see it here, and then I can show you here. Okay, so this is my favorite cable. It's stockinette in the crisscross, and here it is garter, and just surrounding it is garter. Okay, and then we have some bobbles in diamond shapes on a bed of reverse stockinette. You guys are so patient. You really are so sweet. I read your comments. I read every single one of them, and I responded to all of them, I think. If I didn't, give me a kick in the pants. Because I loved them. It was so nice to have so many new viewers. Like, wow, I was so surprised. So thank you for those of you who are new. I love it. It's great. So this is the height thus far, and it's gonna have about this much more. So I think it's a perfect height. It's so detailed and pretty. One of the things that I wrote in the pattern is that there's nothing hard in this pattern. It's knitting and purling and cabling and bobbling, but the cable, there's only 3 cable rows in the entire pattern. This cable twists 3 times, once here, and once more up here. And there are a lot of bobbles, but I have a bobble tutorial video, which I will link down below, and it's very simple. It's not difficult at all. I didn't even really find it to be time consuming because I have worked these bobbles so many times. But I'd love to see this blocked because it's kind of squinched up right now. I'd love to see it blocked and on, and it'll be soon because this is going to be released at the Shenandoah Fiber Festival, this pattern. The sample hopefully will be there for you to see if you're going. If not, it will be online for you to see. And I believe there will be hard copies of this pattern for sure. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Instagram is where I do most of my keeping up. I'm Devin, and this is the Knitty McPurly podcast. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Here in the U.S., we're about to celebrate Labor Day, which is a 3-day weekend. And yeah, so it's nice. I can use a 3-day weekend. It's been kind of crazy. I don't really have any knitting fantasies this time, but one sweater that I saw that I really, really liked, and if I think of any right now, I will include those too, but one that I saw that I really liked is Andrea Mowry's Stone Crop cardigan. and I think there's also a pullover version too. And this is a stripy, possibly mosaic, I'm not exactly sure, I haven't looked into it that deeply, colorwork sweater with baubles, and it's got all over baubles. I think it's beautiful. I don't know if she uses the same bauble that I use. I have a kind of a go-to bauble that I always use that it's very easy to work. It looks great. So, but I do love baubles. I feel like they have really made a comeback, and they're just so fancy without being lace, you know? And like this awesome cable with the garter stitch in the middle and then the garter stitch on the outside. I just think it's cool. It's different. It's huge. I love a big, massive cable. Another thing about this cowl, before I forget, is that it does taper. I have knit several cowls that are just straight up, and I think what you end up with is something that fits at the bottom and is just too bulky at the top, and you end up having to kind of fold it over or tuck it back in, or it just doesn't lay right. So this one does taper. You start out with, I can't exactly remember, like 250, and you end with about 130 stitches. So it does go down quite a bit, and it's going to then, fit around the neck. Not tight, because I don't want anything tight around my neck, but it's just gonna taper in, and you're gonna put it on, and it's gonna lay nice. It doesn't flop around. I think that's kind of my policy on small cowls. I just think it would drive me nuts to have one that was just straight up and down. I think even if and I have knit them before, the straight up and down ones, and I'm always a little annoyed with the fact that they don't lay right. So that is that. That's what's on the needles. Well, they're not still in the shop anymore. Yeah, but thank you. Okay, so that's all I have for Knitting Fantasies. Is there anything else that I really liked? Oh, you know what? There was a shawl. It had the word summer in it. End of summer shawl, maybe? Summer's end. I will find it, and I will put the name up and the designer and a picture. My mom said I wasn't leaving the pictures up long enough. Thanks, Mom. Hi. Sometimes my software defaults to a time, and I've tried to alter it, and it won't let me. And then sometimes it does let me. I don't know. I'm a knitwear designer. I don't know all the techie stuff, but I will try and leave it up longer. If not, what you can do is just hit the space bar, and that will pause the video, and you can look at it as long as you want, and then hit the space bar, and it will go past that. But this is a really pretty shawl too. Again, blue and yellow. I think that's why I was drawn to it. I don't really know where the blue and yellow thing came from. It was all subconscious, because I just suddenly realized that those were my favorite colors. Because gray has been a favorite for a long time, and then yellow made its way in, and then every time I would wear yellow, I would just put it with blue, or Williamsburg. This would look good with this, wouldn't it? See, I love these together. I love a gold with a silver. I think that color combination looks awesome. It's like money. Not that, I don't know, it just looks good together, I think. I did a school days shawl out of a brassy coppery color and then a silver, and I love that combination. Anyway, let's talk about sewing, because I have actually done some sewing, you guys, since I podcasted last. Like, this is in the midst of my kids going back to school, homeschooling, and having a sweater pattern come out, and 2 major shop updates with stitch marker necklaces and sock kits. I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. Anyway, so here's what I made. I'm going to take off my brass tacks. I am wearing, and this is not like a fancy one. This is a total casual one. You can see that arm cuff detail. This is a Wixton Tova, and I am right on top of things because I'm pretty sure this pattern came out in 2010. And I'd actually owned it for about 2 years because my friend bought it and decided she didn't want to make it. She's built differently than me. She's shorter and bustier, and she just feels whenever she wears a shirt of this style, she feels like it's just wrong for her, which is too bad because it's like her favorite style. So I don't have a problem with bustiness, so I can just wear things that would look good on a man. So this fabric is just a fabric that I picked up at Joann Fabrics last year to make pajama pants out of or whatever. So I chose it to make a muslin because I wasn't sure how this was going to fit. I've never made anything by Wixton before, so I didn't know how it was going to fit. So I measured that I would be a small in the bust and a medium in the hips because I am a pear. When I made those bathing suits, I was amazed that I was a 4 in the bust. I actually measured as a 2 in the bust, but I made it a 4 just because 2 was ridiculous, and a 10 in the hips. So, gosh, that's just the beauty of making your own clothes, that you can grade a 1-piece bathing suit. Like if you're wearing a 2-piece, you could, theoretically buy them separately. But with a 1-piece, you get what you get. So being able to grade the bathing suit to fit my pear shape was really nice. So for this one, I went ahead and made it in the medium size all over because I didn't want it to be too tight in the shoulders. And I am so glad that I did because it's perfect. It fits perfect in the shoulders. In fact, there's almost a little bit too, and it's long. The tunic length is really a good length, you can see. It's got a little bit more here than I would like. So I actually may grade in my next ones, the ones that I care about. Like this one feels like pajamas. It is amazingly comfortable. I may grade down, if I had one I wanted to wear like for nice, I may grade down this to be a little slimmer. So I'll keep this as the medium, slim down the middle, and then I'll probably keep it at the same for the hips because Mama's got big hips. So here's what happened in relation to sewing news. So there is a sewing store nearby my house. I won't name it. I went in there maybe a year ago and I looked around and the fabric they had was gorgeous, just so beautiful. And it was mostly for quilting. Everything they had up on the wall was geared toward quilting. And I said at the time, do you sell any apparel fabric? Because that's what I'm most interested in sewing. And she said, no, we don't, only quilting. And I said, oh, that's too bad. And so I left. And I never went back because I just, I'm not as interested in quilting. And so my friend Yvonne texted me last week and said, they're going out of business, this store, so you should go and check it out. So I go in, and I didn't realize it was the day before the sale. So I go in, and I see that they have some sewing patterns for clothing. There's some Tilly in the buttons. They had a couple other ones that were clothing patterns. And so I asked again, do you sell any apparel fabric? And the woman who worked there, this woman was not the owner. She was just one of the employees. She said, no, we don't, only quilting. And I said, oh, okay, disappointed again. Oh, well, I tried. And so I stayed and looked around anyway, just because, I thought, I'll look anyway and see what there is. So I start talking to this woman who's just there, just shopping. And she says, you can get quilting fabric that has a good feel to it and that's a pattern that you like and sew it on the bias. And that way it'll give it more drape. And I was like, genius. That's a great idea. I never thought of that. And then, so I'm walking around and then I see a section marked rayon and one marked double gauze. And I was like, this is apparel fabric. And the lady said, this is what I mean when I say, do you have any apparel fabric? And she goes, oh, yeah, we only have a few. We just have a little bit. And usually when people want apparel fabric, they want something with spandex in it. And I was like, when people ask you if you have apparel fabric, you should say, we have a great selection. It's a little small, but I have rayon, I have double gauze, and you know what? If you even fall in love with one of these quilting prints, you can turn it on the bias, and it takes a little bit more fabric, but you can make what you want and get great drape out of that too. Let me show you what works best. And I thought, gosh, I wonder if this is why they're going out of business. I mean, and then the next day I came back for the sale, and I got there like 10 minutes before they opened, which was a good thing because it was a madhouse. I got the fabric that I wanted, and I said to the same lady was there on the sale day, I said, see, you've got all this great apparel fabric. And she goes, oh, but it's only a little. I was like, okay. Yeah. Anyway, someday, I'm going to have a yarn store, and I'm going to be super nice to people and encouraging. So anyway, sometimes we can learn from other people. But I wanted to show you what I got because it is gorgeous. So this, let's see, what's the best way to see it? This is a double gauze, and I got 3.5 yards of this because that is how much I would need to make a dress. I don't know that I will make a dress because I think I could make a skirt and 2 tops also. And I also got this one. So this is 100% cotton double gauze. This one is a cotton and steel lawn. I'm not exactly sure what lawn means, but I know you can make dresses out of it. I feel like this is a fabric that crosses over between quilting fabric and apparel fabric. But isn't it so pretty? It's just so pretty. So here again, I got 3.5 yards. I can make a dress if I want, or I could make, and this is a cotton and steel. It's from 2014. Called, it's fall 2014, Full Cookie Jar, Happy Home. Doesn't really match the pattern, but that's okay. I always think of that Led Zeppelin song, Black Dog, that they named because there was a black dog in the studio when they were recording it. It's like my Baker Street shawl. Has nothing to do with Baker Street, but I listened to Sherlock Holmes the whole time I was knitting it. So anyway, I also got this one. This one was my least favorite. And this fabric is kind of interesting because, where is it? Hold on. Oh, there was something in there I wanted to show you. Oh, it's on this side. Okay. So it has this all over print, but at the bottom, see how it has that kind of like stripe of, what are they, like dots or plus signs? They're little crosses. So I feel like that's a really cool design element. I could incorporate that into whatever I was making with it. So I haven't decided yet. I definitely want to make another Wixton Tova out of one of these. I feel like probably this one. The placket in the front here, I'm going to move my necklace so you can see. So it has like this straight placket, and then this kind of gathers right here. This is meant to be open, but this is just not something I would wear. I wouldn't wear anything down the slow. So I considered putting in a button, but I am lazy, and so I just stitched it up here. And I'm real happy with it. This kind of splays out a little bit. I wasn't sure how I liked that, but if I do this, it looks a little puritanical. I feel like if you bloused this a bit more and bloused these a bit more and made it straight down to the floor, it would be a total like old-fashioned nightgown. Maybe add like a piece of like lace right around here. It'd be like one of those nightgowns that Ma wore in Little House on the Prairie. So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new, welcome. If you're coming back for the second time or for the 40th time, someone left me a comment last time saying that they had been listening and then later watching all of my episodes back to episode 1, which was like, thank you. That was so nice. I love episode 1 because I'm so kind of dorky and awkward and uncomfortable. And I tried so hard, and yeah, it kind of just gives a story of my fiber journey. So I will definitely try and get that up on YouTube sometime soon. And then, you know, as time allows, I'll try and get the other ones up there too, in case you're interested. That's why it's episode 41 and they're not all on YouTube. Anyway, thank you and happy knitting. See you next time. Bye, knitters. Is that crooked? Yeah, that's a little bit better.
I can tell you how it looks from back here.
I need it to be straight in the shot. I think that's good right there, but
It's still recording, just so you know. Over here it says
did I stop it?
you have 94% battery.
Great. That's awesome. It says it's recording, it's just not working well.
Did this help?
No. Feel free to move it over. Thanks for your help, Gigi.
You're going to get primo. Oh, that's good. I like it with this here.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, it just got a lot darker.
Okay, that actually does look real good.
Can you press that against that?
Oh.
Can you press
Am I straight? Does it look straight?
Sit backwards. Yeah.
I don't look like I'm sitting crooked. No, I look like I'm sitting straight.
Here, you come look in and
I'm
I'll
gonna
sit
just
like
come
that.
in a little bit. No, I can see it on my phone. I've got the viewer here. That's what the phone gives me.
It looks straight.
Good.
Wait,
Okay,
where's this
so I can
to-
have. See.
Oh! I mean, you just kind of saw my face, but whatever. You can have the book back.
Oh, and hand me that. Would you hand me that sweater?
You can have the book back as soon as I'm done using it.
Okay. Well, when I talk about it. Oh, I don't have any knitting fantasies.
Mama, when they're flying their carriage, all their stuff falls out of it.
Oh man. Thanks for accommodating me, guys. All right, well,